Welcome students. In this session we are going to discuss on permutation and combination. This topic is bit difficult, but if you really understand, then you will find that many complicated problems can be solved very easily by these tricks. First of all, we will see some of the basic rules or you can say some formulas to for the permutations and combinations. But what is the underlying principle? That is the most important thing, the basic concept, that is the most important thing than the formula. Anyway, let us start. If several processes can be performed in the following manner, the first process in P ways, the second in Q ways, and the third in R ways, and so on, then the total number of ways in which the whole process can be performed in order indicated is given by the product P into Q into R, and so on. So what is the meaning of that? Let us see. Consider this is a particular floor, say A. From A floor to B floor, if you have to go, then suppose there are 3 lifts are there. Okay, again from B floor to C floor, let us consider there are 2 lifts are there. The question, if it is asked that in how many ways we can go from A to C. Okay, so definitely you can see we can go first by this lift, then by this lift. This is one of the way. Other way, maybe we can go from A to B by this lift, and then we can go by this lift again. This is another way. So the question is how many ways we can go from A to C. So to solve this problem, that since from A to B there are 3 different ways. Okay, so in 3 different ways we can go from A to B, and then from B to C we can go in 2 different ways. So total 6 different ways we can go from A to C. Okay, this is what is the meaning of this first formula. Okay, now permutations. The total number of ways of arranging, called the permutation, of n distinct objects taken R at a time is given by n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to n minus R plus 1. Let us try to understand this concept. Let us consider there are few letters, say A, B, C, D and E. Suppose there are 5 letters A, B, C, D and E, and we want to arrange these letters. Suppose we want to form a 3-letter words. We want to form a 3-letter words out of these letters. Okay, so how many ways or how many different words we can form which are 3-letter words? So this is a problem of arrangement or the permutation. Okay, so to solve this problem, you just think in this way. First tell me that the first letter of that 3-letter word can be any one of these 5, right? So this first position can be filled up in 5 different ways, and for that, in the next position, how many different ways next position can be filled up? Definitely one of the letter already has been used. We are considering that we are not repeating. Let us consider we are not going to repeat a particular letter. So if one letter already has been used in the first place, then the second place we have only option of any 4 letter other than that one. So for that we have option to fill up the second position by any one of the 4 letters. Similarly, now for the third position we have only left is the 3 different letters other than these first 2. So we have 3 options. So this will be the total number of ways we can arrange 3 letter words out of these 5 letters. So this is what is the answer. So this thing actually written here, or the whole thing can be written in a simplified form as, since there are total 5 letter words, and out of which how many way we can arrange, that means how many way we can permutate, so that is 5 in P, and since we are forming 3 letter words, so 3. So this is 5P3. So 5P3 is basically this quantity. Okay, so this is the general form. So the form is that you start multiplying from n, and gradually you reduce by 1 every time, and you do it up to such that total number of terms will be the number of way you are arranging. So there will be odd number of terms. So how many terms are there? Odd number of terms. Why odd number of terms? You see, this is the second term. Okay, this is the second term. In the second term, what is there? N minus 1. So 1 less than 2. This is the third term. In the third term, n minus what? This 3 minus 1. So this is the rth term. So what is there? N minus r minus 1. Okay, so n minus r minus 1. Okay, so if you expand this, n minus r plus 1. Okay, so this is nothing but NPR. NPR again in terms of factorial is written if you multiply in the top and bottom by n minus r factorial, then n minus r factorial, then it will become, the top will become n factorial, and in the denominator it will be n minus r factorial. So in factorials we can also express NPR as n factorial by n minus r factorial also. Okay, now coming to this point, that arrangement in a line or circle. Now the total number of ways in which n distinct objects, again this distinct is very important, n distinct objects can be arranged among themselves. Now the question is, equivalent question is such so that you can understand. Let us consider again this A, B, C, D, E are 5 persons. A, B, C, D, E are 5%. So how many ways they can be arranged? Okay, so maybe A is first, then B is there, then C is there, then D is there, then E is there. So now basically what we are considering? We are considering all of them and we are trying to arrange them. Here in the first problem what we did, out of these 5 we have taken 3 and we have tried to arrange. Here what we are doing, there are total 5 persons and we want to arrange all of them in a line. In how many ways that can be done? So maybe another arrangement is A, C, B, E, D. This is another arrangement. So in this way many possible arrangements are possible. So question is how many ways this can be done. This is very simple. Since you have to arrange all these 5 people, so the first place can be filled up by any one of the 5. The second one you can fill up by remaining 4. Second one any one of the 3. Second one, and the last one is 1. So this number will become 5P5, or simply this is nothing but 5P5, right? So out of 5 all 5 are taken and arranged. So 5P5 is nothing but P factorial, 5 factorial, so that you can see from 5 to 1. So in a line if you want to arrange, the answer is 5P5 or 5 factorial or NPN or n factorial. Okay, now if you want to arrange them in a circle, in that case it will be n minus 1 factorial. Instead of arranging in a line, if you want to arrange in a circle, in that case remember, suppose this is the circular path, it is a circular place and you want to arrange these 5 people. Let us consider a small, say 3 people are there, say A, B, R and C. So how many ways you can arrange them? So let us consider here is A, here is B, and here is C. So B is after A, C is after B. In this way we can arrange. Or in what other ways we can arrange? Say here is A, here is C, and here is B. Now can you tell me, is there any other way? No, there is no other ways for these three persons to be arranged in a circular path, because either you can see it from a clockwise or you can see it from a anti-clockwise. That means when you try to arrange them in a circular path, one of the person have to be considered as reference, and with respect to that, arrangement is to be done. So if there are total n persons, one you have to remove, and the remaining persons n minus 1 you arrange them in all possible ways. So n minus 1 factorial. So 1 is actually removed because in case of a circular permutation or circular arrangement, remember, one person have to be fixed, or that has to be considered as reference, and with respect to that reference you have to do. So here the answer for three persons to be arranged in a circular path will be 3 minus 1 factorial. Okay, but if you want to arrange three persons in a line, then answer will be 3 factorial. Okay, but in case of a circular permutations, it will be 3 minus 1 factorial. Okay, now one more thing regarding circular permutations. When it is about the arrangement of the persons who are sitting along a circular path and all that, you will do n minus 1 factorial, no problem. But when the question of forming necklace or with the help of flowers making garland, in those cases, remember, even that number will be half, because if you consider a necklace or a garland, in that case, in fact, clockwise and anti-clockwise does not mean anything, because you just think of one necklace. If you just turn it around, then you will see that it will become anti-clockwise. So which one is clockwise, which one is anti-clockwise, that actually you do not understand, because if you look from two different sides, it will all remain same. You will not be able to distinguish between two garlands. One is, suppose they are arranged in clockwise, another they are arranged in anti-clockwise. So in case of necklace, garlands, this clockwise and anti-clockwise, these two cases will be not considered separately. So the whole arrangement is divided by 2. These two corresponding to clockwise and anti-clockwise are similar. Now consider this one, permutation with repetition. Okay, so the number of ways of arranging n objects among which p are alike and q are alike and r are alike, like that. Okay, so for example, you see, suppose you have to arrange, there are say 3a and 2b. Okay, so how many ways we can arrange 5 letter words? Okay, 5 letter words, how many ways we can write? Okay, so this is what is the problem. So in this problem, we know if we want to make 5 letter words out of 5 letters, then it is definitely 5 factorial. If all of them were distinct, but in our case, all of them are not distinct. 3 of them are one kind. 3 of them are of one kind. So among them, how many arrangements are possible? If 3 of them, how many ways can be arranged? In a 3 factorial ways. So these ways are not actually different when these things are alike. So that is why you have to divide the whole thing by 3 factorial. Again, this 2 b's are there. That means they are 2 are of same kind, another kind. Okay. So here also among these 2, there may be, if they are distinct, there may be 2 factorial ways, but actually they are not distinct. So that is why you have to divide by 2 factorial. Okay, so in this case the answer will be this one. This many number of ways we can make 5 letter words out of these letters. So here what is the meaning of this formula? That if there are n number of objects and p of them alike of one kind, q are alike of another kind, r of alike of another kind, then the number of ways will be this. Okay. Now coming to the combination, the total number of possible groups, okay, called combinations, that can be formed by taking r objects out of n distinct objects is given by. Okay, so the meaning of that, suppose there are 5 persons A, B, C, D and E, and what you want to do, you want to make a team of 3 people. Suppose you want to make a team of 3 people. Okay, so in your team there will be 3 persons. In your team there will be 3 persons. So in how many way you can do that? A team or a group of 3 persons you have to choose. So how many way you can take in your team? You can take ABC is one possible way. You can take BCD is another team, right? So you have to make a team of 3 people. The question is in how many ways we can select this team. So these kind of problems are called combinations. So how can we do that? So first of all, you see that if we consider how many ways we can arrange any 3 of them, then what is the answer? That you know was 5p3. That was the answer. In how many ways we can do that? That out of 5, how many ways we can arrange 3. But here you see the 3 that you have selected, suppose you have selected ABC, and when you are considering this thing, that means you are considering ABC and BAC are different words, like they are different permutation, different arrangement. CAB are different arrangements, right? But when we are talking about team, ABC, BAC, CAB, all these are same team. So all these cases are not separate cases. They are the same cases in case of selecting or in case of a group, because we are not arranging them. So among these 5p3, actually these cases are not different. So how many ways these 3 can be arranged among themselves? Definitely in 3 factorial ways. So that you have to divide. So answer will be, we can select teams is in how many ways? That is 5p3 divided by 3 factorial ways. We can select the team. Okay, so this particular thing in terms of combination is called 5C3. This is called 5C3. Okay, so here you can see NCR, that means if there are total n, and this n in our case was 5, this R means in our case that was 3. So for that, it is basically what you can see, the top portion is corresponding to the permutation part and divided by R factorial. That means we have divided by all the arrangement possible among them. Okay, so this is what is the NCR. And NCR in terms of factorial again can be written, if you multiply numerator and denominator by n minus R factorial, then numerator become n factorial and denominator will remain R factorial and n minus R factorial. Okay, so now come to this formula where the combination of any number at a time. The total number of ways of forming groups by taking any number of n distinct objects is. Okay, what is the meaning of this? The meaning of this, suppose the question is again A, B, C, D and E. 5 persons are there and you have to form group. Okay, if you have to form group, then how many ways you can form groups such that the number of persons in a group can be any number. That means it can be 1, the group may contain 2 members, group may contain 3 members, or it may contain 4 members, or it may also contain 5 members. So one by one we have to consider each and every case, right? So if we have to form a group of 1 member, how many ways we can do? There are total 5 persons. So out of 5, how many ways we can select a group of 1 member? It is 5C1 ways. How many ways we can select a group of 2 members? That can be done in 5C2 ways. Okay, similarly 5C3 ways for a group of 3 members. For a group of 4 members, 5C4 ways. taking all of them, we can only form one group, that is 5C5. Okay, so this will be the answer. This is what is the meaning of that. And this again can be written as 2 to the power n minus 1. This also can be written as 2 to the power n minus 1. So in our case it will be 2 to the power 5 minus 1. So where from this also can be thought in that way. Suppose we want to form a group of at most 5 members, right? So this is the first person. The first person may be included in that group or may not be included. So there are two options. Second person may be there or may not be there. There are two options. Third person may be there or may not be there. There are two options. Fourth person may be there or may not be there. There are two options. Fifth person may be there or may not be there. Two options. But in that case, one option has been already considered, that the first member is not there, second member is not there, third member is not there, fourth member is not there, and fifth member is also not there. So that particular case actually considers that in that group there is no member. So that is not should not be considered, because in that case the group will not be formed. So you have to subtract one out of that. So in this way you can see the same thing can be thought of as a different way, and you are getting the same result, which is 2 to the power 5 minus 1. Okay. Now again, you see this is also very common. Choosing balls from an urn. Okay. The total number of ways of choosing A white balls and B black balls from an urn containing A white ball, A white and B black balls. Let us consider this is one urn containing A white balls, A number of white balls. So there are A number of balls are there, and this is the urn of white balls, and this is the urn of black balls. This is urn of black balls, this is urn of white balls. Now how many number of balls are there? A number of white balls are there and B number of black balls are there. The question is that how many ways we can choose A white and B black balls. Okay, so since there are A number of white balls, so how many ways we can choose A out of this capital A number of white balls? Definitely capital A is the total number of white balls, C A number of white balls we can choose. And for that case, how many ways we can choose for total B number of black balls, and we want only B. So this is the number of ways we can choose this A number of small a number of white balls and small b number of black balls from this particular given two urns. So you can think of that this is a single urn basically. Actually the problem is that it is a single urn and it contains both white and black balls. Okay, so A number of white and B number of black balls are there in that urn, and from that you are basically taking out total 5 balls, total A plus B number of balls, total small a plus b number of balls, and the question is that how many ways it is possible that exactly A number of white and B number of black balls will be there. So this is the answer. Now here ordered partition. Again the distinct objects. So the total number of ways of distributing n distinct objects into R compartments marked 1 to R is, okay, so number of ways distributing n distinct objects into R compartments marked 1 to R. Okay, so let us consider there are n distinct objects. Say there are 5 distinct objects, say A, B, C, D, E. There are 5 distinct objects, and these objects are to be distributed in three compartments. Suppose these are the three compartments marked 1, 2, 3 like this. Okay, so there are 5 distinct objects and there are 3 compartments marked 1, 2 and 3. The question is in how many ways they can be distributed. So this is a very simple one. You just see that we can put here any one of these 5, right? Or what we can do, we can put 2 of them, A and B, suppose we put here, and we can put C and D here, we can put E here, or we can put all these 5 here and nothing will be there in the second and third compartment. Or what we can do, we put just nothing here and we put all this here. Okay, so in different ways we can do that, right? So what are the different ways we can put in the first compartment? Tell me. In the first compartment we put 1, how many options are there? The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see in this way, the first one, that means the A, we can put either here or here or here, right? So A can be placed either here or here or here. So for A there is 3 options. Now for B, how many options are there? After putting A in any one of the compartment, we have choice of B. So B again can be placed anywhere, either here or here or here. So for each of these case, B having again 3 options. Similarly, after that, C having again 3 options, we can put either here or here or here. So actually for D also and for E also. So the total number of ways we can put all these in 3 different compartments is basically 3 to the power 5. So you have to think in that way. The first object, how we can put, the second object, how we can put, the third. In that way we can do that. So answer is R to the power n. Now see this one, the number of ways in which n objects can be distributed so that the compartment contains respectively n1, n2, nr objects is. Okay. So now here is one conditions that is given, that again the problem is similar, but you have to distribute the n objects again. So A, B, C, D, E again, that is there. But now the compartment, suppose the 3 compartments are there. Suppose again the 3 compartments are there. But now it is given that you filled up or distribute these objects in these compartments, but the restriction is that compartment contains respectively, that means suppose the compartment 1, this is compartment 2 and this is compartment 3. So first compartment must have 2 objects, say. The second compartment must have, say, 2 objects, and the third compartment must have 1 object. So these are certain conditions which are given when you are distributing these objects. Okay, so now the question is how many ways we can put that. So to do that, what we do, that if now you think in that way, that without any restrictions, first you tell me in how many ways these 5 things can be arranged. Without any restrictions, if you consider, then in how many ways these 5 things can be arranged. So without any restrictions, 5 things can be arranged in 5 factorial ways. 5 things can be arranged in 5 factorial ways. Now you have to consider the cases like these 2 are like similar, these 2 are like similar, and one is of different kind. Okay, so since these 2 are similar, among them the arrangements are not to be considered. So that divided by 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial divided by 1 factorial. So this is what is the meaning of this particular distribution. That means you write this 2, because how can you divide these things in a way in 3 compartments. Okay, so this is the given condition that it has to contain 2, it has to contain 2, it has to contain 1. Okay, so now what we are doing, we are arranging all these 5 in all possible ways. So that possible ways is this. Now out of that 5, this 2 plus 2 plus 1, 5. Out of that 5, these 2 are of one kind, these 2 are of one kind, and this is of another kind. So divided by 2 factorial, 2 factorial, and 1 factorial. Okay. Now see ordered partitions. Here we are considering identical objects. The ordered partitions of identical objects. The total number of ways distributing in identical objects into R compartments marked 1 to R. Now these are identical objects. The previously what we have done, those were distinct objects. And this is a very important formula, very important formula in many of the competitive examinations like CAT or any different competitive examinations. Permutation combination problems many times are coming using this formula, and it has wide variety of applications. In our course also you'll see different applications of this formula, but let us try to understand first what is the statement. The number of ways distributing in identical objects into R compartments marked 1 to R. Okay, so if there are in identical objects and if there are R number of components, R number of compartments, but now the objects are identical, that means all the objects are same. Suppose there are 5A, suppose there are 5A and they have to be distributed in this say 4 compartments. So what can happen? There may be in the first compartment 2A will be there, in the second compartment 1A will be there, in the third compartment maybe another A is there. Okay, and this one will may contain a single A, or it can be in other ways, say here it is A, here it is 2A. So in different ways the arrangements are possible. The question is you have to find out that number of arrangements. Okay, so to do that, what we will do, that you see first there are 5 identical objects. Say these are 5 identical objects. Now suppose you have to divide it into 4 compartments. Suppose you have to divide it into 4 compartments. So what we are thinking, you just divide this thing using certain strokes. Let us consider we are dividing this by 1 stroke, say 2 stroke, 3. So in this way we have divided the all objects into 4 different segments. Here you can see in this segment only 1 is there, in this segment 2 is there, in this segment 1 is there, and in this segment 1 is there. So by 3 lines we can divide it into 4 compartments, because your question there are 4 compartments, so that is why we have divided into 4 compartments. But for that, how many lines we need? We need only 3 lines. Okay, so you can understand that there are 4 objects, and with the help of 3 lines we can divide it into 4 compartments. Okay, so again clearly if we write, suppose these are objects, all are identical, say 5 objects, and we want to divide it into 4 compartments. And for that, what we are doing, we are with the help of lines we are trying to divide it. So here you can see what is the division. What is there in the first compartment? That is 0. What is there in the second compartment? 2. What is there in the third compartment? 3. What is there in the fourth compartment? 0. So by positioning this line these three lines at different locations, basically we can get a particular combinations that how they will be distributed in 4 compartments. Here we have seen in the first compartment 1, here it was 2, here it was 1, here it was 1. Here we can see a different arrangement of the similar objects into 4 compartments. So now what we can see that how many ways we can arrange these 2 strokes and 5 similar objects A. So total how many different things are there? Here you can see how many different things are there. This is one thing. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3 strokes and 5 A. So total 8 different things are there. 8 different things are there. So how many ways these 8 different things can be arranged? Definitely in 8 factorial ways. Okay, now out of these 8 factorial ways, 3 strokes are similar, 3 strokes are same, so divided by 3 factorial, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5A all are similar objects, so divided by 5 factorial. So this will be the possible number of arrangement of these strokes and these later similar objects. So definitely these will be the all possible ways we can arrange these similar objects into our components. Okay, so what will be the answer? 8 factorial by 3 factorial 5 factorial is nothing but 8C3. Okay, so this is how this 8 is actually coming in general. If you do, what was our general problem? That in our case this n was 5. In our case this r was 4 because 4 compartment we want to mention. So this term is basically in general n plus 4, that means r minus 1, and this is nothing but in our case is 8. Okay, and r minus 1 is what? R minus 1 in our case r was 4, so r minus 1 was 3, so our answer was 8C3. Okay, so in this way we can solve this kind of problem, and if you can remember this formula, definitely it is going to help you in this kind of problem. And very quickly, many difficult problems, if we can frame in this format, we can solve. Now let us see the next formula. So here you can see if none of the compartments should remain empty, the total number of ways of distributing the balls is, if none of the compartments are empty. Okay, if none of the compartments are empty means what? Definitely at least one will be there. Okay, so do the same problem again and you will be able to find that. Suppose there are total 5 similar objects are there, and say number of compartment is 3. Instead of 4 previous case, let us consider there are 3 compartments named 1, 2, 3, and you want to distribute these 5 similar objects into it. So now it is not possible that one of the compartment may be 0, which was the possibility in the first case. Okay, so now what is the thing that you have to do is that at least one you have to put here. So at least one. So if you put at least one in each of the compartment first, then how many objects will remain? Out of 5, now 3 gone. So only 2 objects are remain. Now these 2 objects, now you have to distribute here. Okay, so the problem now again will be similar what we have done, but here only thing is that this n has become 2. Okay, so now the thing is what? It will be total how many compartments? There are 3 compartments, and what you have to make? You have to make 2 because 2 similar objects is now there. So 3 plus 2 is 5, and 5 minus 1 that you have to take, that is 4 C, 3 compartments, so 3 minus 1, so 4 C2. And if you see this 4 C2 with the actual problem, which is nothing but this 4 is nothing but total number of similar objects minus 1, and that is why this n minus 1 is there, and r minus 1 is okay, number of compartment minus 1, so 4 C2. Okay, so in this way we can solve the problem. We'll discuss this kind of problems in detail, and then definitely we'll understand it in a better way. Now, sum of points on the dice. When n dice are thrown, the number of ways getting a total of r points is given by the formula coefficient of x to the power r in the expansion of x plus x square up to x to the power 6 whole to the power n, if n dice are thrown. Okay, so that means suppose there are 3 dice. If the 3 dice are thrown, suppose one face showing 1, another was showing say 2, another one is showing say 3, okay, and another one suppose is showing also 1. Okay, so if 4 dice, that means if n is equal to 4, they are thrown, and sum of their points, that means 1 plus 2 3 plus 3 6 plus 1 7. So if you find that the sum is 7, then the question is how many ways it is possible. Okay, and to do that the number of ways will be in general x to the power r in the expansion of this. This is the most general way, but definitely we'll come into back how to find out these kind of problems in competitive examinations, because it is not very shortcut technique of finding out x to the power r, coefficient of x to the power r of this expansion. It is a laborious one, so we'll see what is the shortcut technique in one of the problem where we'll solve this problem of dice. Okay, you just remember, we will get back to you, but this is the general formula that you can remember. Now here de-arrangement problems, de-arrangements and matches, these two problems. This is the problem of de-arrangements and matches that we are going to see. If n objects number 1 to up to n are distributed at random in n places, also numbered 1 to n, a match is said to occur if an object occupies the place corresponding to its number. The number of permutations in which no match occur is. Okay, so this kind of problems may come that suppose few letters, 3 letters are there, and correspondingly 3 envelopes are there. How many ways you put those letters randomly into the envelope so that there will be no match. Okay, so all of them will go in a wrong place. Okay, so similarly for this kind of problem, these kind of problems are called de-arrangements, and for this kind of problem we are not going from the fundamental principle or the first principle. This is a very, very conceptual and involved problem, but I will suggest to remember this formula, because these problems are very common in competitive examinations. So if you can remember this formula, then you can easily do it. Suppose if we want to solve this problem, suppose there are 4, let us consider there are 4 letters and corresponding 4 envelopes. Envelopes are written with the address, so letters should go into the proper envelope. So question is how many ways it will be a complete mismatch. Okay, so to find that, what we do is simply find out what is 4 factorial. We'll use the formula 4 factorial, and then what we do, you see the first 2 term is not going to produce anything. We'll start with the 2 factorial, so 1 by 2 factorial, and we'll go up to 4 factorial because it is 4, and alternative plus minus, minus 3 factorial plus 1 by 4 factorial, and we'll stop. That's all. Okay, so if you do that, LCM will be 4 factorial, and that 4 factorial will cancel this one. So what will be there? Above it is 24, 4 factorial is 24, so 2 divided by 24 it is 12. Then minus 3 factorial is 6, so 6 divided by 24 is 4, and 24 divided by 24 is 1. Okay, and this 24 which is in the LCM will cancel it with the this 24, you need not to write. So 12 minus 4 is 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. So for the 4 envelopes corresponding to 4 letters, rearrangement is in a 9 ways. 9 different ways this rearrangement is possible. Okay, so I will prefer to remember these results. Remember for 3, if you do for 3, what will be the result, you tell me. So you have to go up to 3, right? So this will not be there, so 3 factorial, so here it will be 3 minus 1, so 2. So for 3 it will be 2, for 4 it will be 9. Okay, for 5, if you can remember, for the 5 it will be what, up to 4 factorial, probably it will be 44. I will tell you to check whether I am right or not. I can't remember exactly right now, but probably this is 44. So if you can remember, this is going to help you definitely in the competitive examinations. Okay, generally these arrangement problems are coming either 3, 4, 5. Okay, but in general this is the formula that you have to remember. If it is more than that, in that case definitely you have to calculate. Okay, now here is the problem, the last one, the number of permutations of n objects in which exactly r matches occur. Suppose there are total 5 letters and corresponding 5 envelopes. Okay, the question is, tell me the number of ways where exactly 2 will match. That means 2 letters will go into the right envelope, but the 3 will be mismatched. Okay, so if the number of match is r, then what is that number? So in that case, that number will be is equal to this, that is n factorial by r factorial into 1 minus. Now see, after 1 minus, these are the term, so you have to go up to how many terms, n minus r, then you have to stop. N minus r is what, suppose total 5, and out of which 2 exactly match, so 5 minus 2 is 3, so you have to go up to 3 factorial. Okay, so up to this much you have to calculate. Okay, so these are the basic formulas that will help you to solve problems related to permutation and combinations. Now coming to some of the basic type of problems, basic types of problems which are common in permutation combination. Let us discuss those problems. So first, consider the word mathematics. We are now discussing some word problems from permutations. Okay, so in the word mathematics, the question is, find the number of words can be formed taking all the letters. So first of all, calculate how many letters are total there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If I am not wrong, I think 11. You check once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, total 11 letters are there. So how many ways 11 letters can be arranged? Okay, so 11 letters can be arranged, we know, in 11 factorial ways if you take all of them. But out of them, we have to see whether any repetitions are there or not. So you see how many m's are there, 1, 2. So there are 2m. How many a are there? We can see there are 2 a's. How many t's are there? There are 2 t's. Okay, so these are the only repeated words, I think, and no more repetition is there. So that will be divided by 2 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial, because those are similar. 2m, if they arrange among themselves, m and m, that is not going to give new arrangement. So you have to divide by 2 factorial. Similarly for a and t. So for the first question, this will be the answer. So this is the answer of the first part of the problem. How many ways we can form words, whether meaningful or not, using all these letters is this. Now let us see the second part of the problem. Now for the second part of the problem, number of words taking all letters can be formed where all vowels are together. Okay, then how many vowels are there here? You see A. How many A's are there? There are two A's, right? Okay, E is there, right? E, and I is there. So we can see there are 4 vowels where 2 A's are there, and total there were 11. So other than 7 letters are also there, right? So the question is, number of words taking all the letters can be formed where all vowels are together. So all vowels will always be together. So let us consider these all vowels to be one letter. Now total how many letters? Here it is 7, here it is 1. How many ways they can be arranged? They can be arranged in 8 factorial ways, right? But out of these 8 factorial ways, now for the time being let us consider this as the one letter. Okay, so in 8 factorial ways, within that 7, how many are repeating? Say this M, 2 M's are there, right? So that divided by 2 factorial. 2 T's are there, 2 T's are there, so divided by 2 factorial. So these are the number of arrangements considering all the vowels together. But within these vowels, how many possible arrangements are possible? How many arrangements are possible within these 4 letters? Within these 4 letters we know can be arranged in 4 factorial ways. But there are 2IA, so that divided by 2 factorial. Okay, so this will be the total number of arrangements where the vowels will be together. Okay, now coming to the third part of the problem. In the third part of the problem, the question is, a number of words taking all letters can be formed where vowels will come only in the even places. So vowels are going to come only in the even places. Okay, so first of all you find out how many even places are at all there in these 11 letter words. So if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So how many even places are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there are 5 even places, and in these 5 even places you have to put those vowels. How many vowels are there? You have seen there are 4 vowels. So in 4 vowels can be given in those from this in these 5 places, the 4 vowels can be selected in this way. Now again the 4 vowels can arrange among themselves in how many ways? They can arrange themselves in 4 factorial ways divided by 2 factorial. Why 2 factorial? Because if you remember, there are 2A in the vowel. These are the vowels. Okay, so in 5 places, 5 even places, in 5 even places you can select 4 places in 5C4 ways. Now in these 4 places you are going to put these vowels. Okay, so you can select these 4 places in this way. Then you after putting these 4 vowels, now you can arrange these 4 vowels in all possible ways, and that can be done in 4 factorial by 2 factorial ways, because 2 factorial we have divided because there are 2 A's are there. What else? There are remaining 7 positions which are odd positions or maybe a single even position is still there, and other 7 letters can now be arranged again in 7 factorial ways. Okay, now this 7 factorial, out of them there are 2m and 2t, so divided by 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial. So this is the total number of ways by which the vowels will occupy only the even places. Now coming to the next problem. This is the next category of word problem. Let us consider the word institute. Now the first question is, number of ways 5 alphabets can be selected from the letters of the above word. The question is 5 alphabets can be selected. The question is not the 5 alphabets will be arranged. It is only the question of selection. That means it's a question of combination. It is not about the from these 5 letters you are going to make the word. It is not like that. That is what is the second part of the question. So the first part is telling that 5 alphabets can be selected from the letters of the above word. Okay, so this is the question. How many ways 5 alphabets can be selected from the letters of the above word? Okay, so first you see how many letters are there, how many I are there. First tell me. 1, 2 I's are there. Then repetition T, how many T's are there? I think T, the 3 T's are there, right? And what else? N, S, U, E, these are there. Okay, so total how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 4 plus 3, 7. 7 plus 2, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so total 9 letters are there, 9 alphabets are there, and out of them 2 I's, 3 T's, and N, U, S, and E. These are there. Okay. The question is 5 alphabets can be selected. Okay, so 5 alphabets can be selected. You can think in that way that all these alphabets that can be selected are all different. So first case, let us consider all different. All different. That is the first case we consider. All letters are different. All letters are different. So how many such cases are there? How many different letters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from the 6 we have to take 5. So this can be done in simply C5 ways. 65 means what? 61. 61 means 6. Remember, these are the important formula, like NCR means NC N minus R. Okay, so 6 if we consider all are different. Second case, you consider that out of this 5 selection, maybe 2 are of one kind, that is similar, 2 are similar, and 3 are distinct. 2 are similar, 2 similar, 2 similar, plus 3 different. 3 different. In this way we can also select. So how many ways this is possible, to tell me? So 2 similar. 2 similar means they can be either of 2 I's or they can be either 2 T's. So there are 2 options. Okay, so 2 options, and for that 3 are different, and those 3 can be any one of these other than that thing which has been repeated. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 options, and out of which you have to take 3. Okay, so this is the way you have to consider. So what is the result here? So 5C3 means what? See, in this way we calculate. So 5C3 is same as 5C2. That means from the end you multiply 2. That means 5 into 4, and that divided by 2 factorial. 2 factorial is 2 here. So 5 into 4 is 20, by 2 is 10. So such 10 cases are there. Okay. Now the third case you consider, where 2 of similar of one kind plus 2 of similar of another kind and 1. So in this way also we can make 5. So how many such cases are there, tell me? So 2 of similar, that is the one case, that is I. 2 of similar, another one, that is again one case, this. So other than that, only one that you can take definitely out of these 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So you have to take 3C1. So this is the only case. Then the fourth case, you can consider the 3 of similar, 3 of similar and 2 different. Now 3 similar, 2 different, that can be done. T similar can be taken only one way, that is T, if you take 3 T's, and 2 different can be taken from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that can be done in 5C 2 ways. 3C1 was 3 and 5C2 was what? We have seen 5C2 is 5 into 4 by 2, that is 10. So here 5C3 is 10, 10 into 2 is 20. Sorry, this result ultimately is equal to 20, and this 5C2 is basically 10. Okay. So is there any other situations that may arise? Have we taken all these cases, or any other cases that we have not yet considered? See, it can be 3 similar of one kind and 2 similar of other kind. That is also possible, and that is only one way can be possible. That means 3T and 2I. So total how many cases? That is total how many cases? You can see 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 1 is a 10, 10 plus 10 is 20, 20 plus 20 is 40. Okay, is there any other case? Let's check once again. 2 similar, 3 different. So the answer is 41. So definitely we are making some mistake. Let's check. So 2 similar, 2 similar. Okay, here you can see one thing, the 2 similar and 2 similar, that may be arranged. This 2 similar and 2 similar, that we can take in only one way. That is true, that we can take in only one way, and remaining one we can take out of 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, it is 4, not 3. There are remaining 4 letters. Total from the 4, how many ways we can take the last one? So this is 4. Okay, so if you add them up, it will become 41. So there are total 41 cases. Okay, so here I hope you have understood that 2 similar means this T and I, these options are not there. So remaining 4, out of 4 letters, any one can come in the last one. Okay, so now let us see the last part of the problem. Okay, for the last part of the problem, we have to form words. And now the question is not selection, we have to form words, so that using the 5 letter words that we have to form. So here now question of arrangement will come. So we are going to do in a similar way, exactly in a similar way. So first you select from the 5 letters. So I, 2 I there, 3 T's are there, and the other four letters were there, those are presenting in 1. So what we can, first case we can consider all 5 are different, and for that we can select first in how many ways? We can select first in 6C5, and those 5 can be arranged among themselves in 5 factorial ways because all of them are different. In the second case we have considered what? 2 of one kind and 3 are different, right? 3 are different. So 2 of one kind can be of two types possible, either 2I or 2T, and 3 different can be selected from 4 plus 5. From this 5 we can select 2. And how many ways they can be arranged? They can be arranged now in how many ways? Total number is what? 5. So they can be arranged in, so total number is what? Total number is 5. So 5 factorial divided by 2 are similar, so divided by 2 factorial. So in this way they can be arranged among themselves. So when question of arrangement will come, we have to multiply all possible ways they can arranged. In question of selection, this multiplication part was not there. The third case, when 2 are of one type plus 2 are of another type and 1, and for this case you tell me this can be done in only one ways, and from the remaining 4 letters 1 can be selected in 4C1 ways, and total 5 letters in how many way can be arranged? That is 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial, because the 2 kinds of letters are there repeated twice. Now for the fourth one, it can be 3 of one kind and 2 different, right? So in how many ways this can be? 3 of one kind, it's only possible by this way. So remaining what? So remaining 2 will come from remaining 5 letters, so 5C2, and they can be arranged in how many ways? 5 factorial divided by what? 5 factorial divided by 3 are repeated, so 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial. Okay, so that you have to find out. And what is the fifth case? The fifth case is 3 of one kind and 2 of another kind. So these can be done in only one way, that is possible, but they can be arranged in how many ways? Total 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 2 factorial. Okay, I hope you have understood. If you add all these cases, then you will get the total result 2250. Now coming to the next problem. Now this is the problem of dictionary rank problem. Suppose the question is this is the word pencil and we have to find the rank in dictionary. Here we are considering or meaningful or without meaning. All the words are there in a dictionary and you have to find out its rank. So all possible arrangement that you have to see. So first of all, you write what is the correct order of the letters or alphabets. So C will come first, then C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Okay, so this is the correct order of alphabets. Now you see that the first word definitely will start with C and it's 1 2 3 4 5 6. It's a 6-letter word. So 1 2 3 4 5 will be remain there because C is there, or 5 will remain there, and these 5 can arrange themselves. All will start with C indefinitely 5 factorial ways. Then the next word will come what? E, and then again it will start with all these, start with C and then all others, and these 5 again can be arranged in 5 factorial ways. Then the turn of the word I, it will start with I, and all these cases will come. Then the case of L will come, and all these 5 words in 5 factorial ways. Okay, and after L you see the turn of N will come, and you see that this is again in 5 factorial way. And the next is the word pencil will not come, but the P will come. Okay, so when P, before P is coming in as the first letter, how many words already has been considered? That is basically 5 factorial into 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 into 5 factorial, already these many words are there before the word starts with P. Now next letter P will come first, and then what will be the next letter? Definitely the next letter will be C. Again it will start with C, and after C how many letters? 1 2 3 4. Okay, so in this 4, how many different possible ways are there? That is definitely 4 factorial. So now after C, what is the next letter? Definitely next it will start with E. So PE, remember in our pencil it is also start with PE. So after PE, again the letters will start from C, and these 3 places will be filled up by all possible cases. So how many ways this can be done? In 3 factorial ways. Okay, so in 3 factorial ways this can be done. So we have seen here 5 into 5 factorial already. We have this many words already gone. Then 3 factorial. Then after P E C, so in place of C the next will come, already E has gone, so I will come here, right? So now I will come here replacing this C, because E already has gone. So now you see how many different such things are possible with the remaining 3 letters, definitely in a 3 factorial ways. Then PE, after I it will start with L, and again this can be done in 3 factorial ways. Then PEN, then PEN will come into picture, because in pencil also it is PEN. Okay, so then after PEN definitely it will come C. Okay, so when it will come C, then after that which one will come? E already we have taken. Then I will come definitely. So I will come. Okay, so after that which one will come? L will come. So after this basically we'll get the word pencil. So that means this is what is the rank. So how many before, how many words are there? So here it is 5 into 5 factorial. So answer is 5 into 5 factorial, then 4 factorial, then 1 2, how many 3 factorials are there? You just check. Here it is 1, then C, then 2 3. So 3 into 3 factorial. Okay, and then it is 1. So this is the total number of cases that will come, and this is what is the rank. Okay, I hope you have understood the logic how we have derived it. Now coming to the next problem. So these are the problems of making committee. Okay, so definitely you can understand, since we are talking about the committee, these are basically problems of selection or problem of making group, that means the combination problems. So consider there are total 4 boys and 4 girls. Okay, so 4 boys and 4 girls, and the question is, first question is the number of ways a committee of 4 members can be formed. Number of ways of a committee of 4 members can be formed. So there are total 8 members, and from that 8 members, how many ways we can select 4 members? That is 8c4. So this will be the answer. Simply 8 factorial by 4 factorial into 4 factorial. Clear? Now coming to the next problem. The number of ways a committee of 4 members can be formed such that it must contain 2 boys and 2 girls. So there are total 4 boys. So how many ways 2 boys can be selected out of that? That is in the 4c2 ways. And how many ways 2 girls can be selected out of 4 girls? 4c2 ways. So this will be the answer. So 4c2. That is the answer of the second part of the question. Okay. Now let us see the third part. Number of ways a committee of 4 members can be formed such that it must contain at least 2 boys. Okay, at least 2 boys means the committee will be maybe 2 boys and 2 girls, or the committee may be 3 boys and 1 girl, or committee may be 4 girls. That means 0 boys. All are girls. So these are the 3 possibilities that you have to add. So what is the first case? 2 boys, 2 girls. Simple. 4c2 into 4c2. What is the second case? 4c3. Out of 4, the 3 boys can be selected and 1 girl, so 4c1. For the third one, this is the only possibilities, because 4c0, that means 4c0 is 1. Okay, into 4c 0 boys and 4 girls. So at least 2 boys. So sorry, this is 4 boys and 0 girls. Sorry, 4 boys and 0 girls. So 4 boys means 4c4 and 0 girls means 4c0. Okay, so 4c4 means, remember this formula, that NCN is 1. Okay, NCN is 1, or NCN is same as NC0. So all these are 1. So 4c4 means 4c0, which is 1. So this is possible only one way. Similarly, you can find the others, and if you add them up, you will get the result. So this plus this plus this will be the result of question number 3. Now question number 4. The number of ways a committee of 4 members can be formed such that it must contain 2 boys and 2 girls, and a particular boy must be there and a particular girl never be there in the committee. Okay, again you have to form a 2 boys 2 girls committee, but a particular boy must be there. So if a particular boy must be there, so 1 boy has been selected, so remaining 3 boys are there. So other boy you have to choose from that remaining 3 boys. and one girl will never be there. So the two girls that you have to choose from the three girls, because the out of four girls, one girl is not going to come. So 4C, so 3C, 2. So this will be the answer of the last part of the question. Clear? Now some problems related to geometry. See, consider there are total 10 points. The first question is the number of if no 3 points are collinear. It is given that no 3 points are collinear, then number of straight lines can be formed. Okay, so there are 10 points and no 3 points are collinear. So you know that for a single straight line, how many points are required? 2 points are required for a straight line. So how many ways we can select 2 points from 10 points? In 10C2 ways. So the answer of the first question is 10C2. Now the 4 points are collinear, then number of straight lines can be formed. The first problem, it was given that the no 3 points are collinear. So that is why it was the simple answer. But now it is given that out of those 10 points, 4 points are collinear. If the 4 points are collinear, in that case what will happen? If those were not collinear, then we can form definitely 4C2 number of straight lines. But if they are collinear, we can only form a single straight line. Okay, so that is why the 4C2 minus 1, this many number of straight lines, basically you are not going to get extra. So you have to subtract it from the total number of straight lines. So total number of straight lines is 10C2, that definitely you can calculate. But 4C2 number of straight lines you do not get because the 4 points are collinear, but out of those 4C2 you get only one straight line. So correspondingly you will get this one. So this is what is the answer. Now coming to the third problem, where the 4 points are collinear and find the number of triangles can be formed. Okay, so here again the 10 points are there and 4 points are collinear. Question is how many triangles can be formed. So 10C3, because for a triangle you know 3 points are required, but out of them 4 points are collinear, so you do not get triangles corresponding to 4 points. So how many triangles we can form if the 4 points are not collinear? Then 4C3. So these you have to subtract from the total number of triangles. So this will be the answer of the question number 3. Now see question number 4, which is the 4 points are collinear and rest 6 points are also collinear, then number of triangles can be formed. It is the problem like suppose there are 4 points, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and there are another 4 points which are also collinear. So the 4 points are collinear, and again 6 points, they are also collinear. So total 10 points are like this. The question is how many triangles can be formed. So this problem can be done in this way, that you can choose 2 points from this straight line and 1 point from these straight lines. Okay, so how many ways you can do that? So there are 4 points and out of them you can choose any 2, so 4C2, and you can choose 1 point from this straight line. That means out of 6 points you choose 1. Or what you can do, you can choose 2 points from here, that means 6C2, and 1 point from this 4, so 4C1. So this will give you the answer, this plus this. Or you can solve the same problem in this way also, that total 10 points are there, so total number of triangles that you can form is 10C3, right, minus the triangles that will not form because they are collinear. So there are 4 points which are collinear, so subtract 4C3, there are 6 points collinear, so subtract 6C3. So these also will give you the same answer, and I prefer this particular method. Maybe this one is a simple calculation may looks like, but this formula will help you in other problems also. Now see, find the number of diagonals of a polygon of 10 sides, that you have to find out. Okay, so if you consider a polygon, say 1 2 3 4 5 6, so this is a hexagon. The question is how many diagonals of a polygon is. So here it is clear that if you consider any 2 points and if you join them, you will get a diagonal. So how many points are there in a hexagon? There are 6 points. In a polygon of 10 sides, there are 10 points. So out of 10 points, how many ways we can choose 2 points, that is 10c2. But within this 10c2, the sides are also considered, because if you consider this 2 point, that is not a diagonal, rather that is a side. So you have to subtract the number of sides. So in a polygon of 10 sides, how many sides are there? -10. So this is what is the total number of diagonals of that polygon. So if there are n sides, then how many diagonals are there? There will be nc2 minus n number of diagonals. Okay, so if you simplify, you will find this as n into n minus 3 divided by 2 number of diagonals. Okay, so you can also remember this as the formula of number of diagonals in a polygon of side n. Now coming to this problem, where here you can see a square matrix and these are the small squares. The question is how many number of squares are present here. And already we have discussed in one of the earlier section to find out the number of squares in a square matrix. And if you remember, what was that formula? It is simply, in a square matrix, the formula is 1 square plus 2 square up to 1 2 3 4, so up to 4 square, because here it is a 4 by 4 matrix. And to find out the number of rectangles, if you remember, we have told that it is nothing but 1 cube plus 2 cube plus up to 4 cube. But instead of a square, if it is a rectangular matrix, and you have to find out the number of squares, then how can you do that? You see the method carefully. Here you see how many 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. There are 7 small sides are there, and here you can see 1 2 3 4. So 7 into 4 small squares you will get. Then you just increase the sides to twice, and here also it will become twice. So how many sides you will get there? Just 1 less than this. So 7, 1 less than that is 6. And similarly from 4 you just subtract 1, that is 3. Then you just increase the side of the square 3 by 3. Then this will be, you will get 1 less, so 5 into 2. Then again you subtract 1, so 4 into 1. After that, if you subtract, it will become 0, need not to consider. So this will be the answer of number of squares present in a rectangular matrix. So what you have to do, first you have to find out the number of smallest squares, and then in that multiplication just reduce 1 from each of the multiplier. So 7 becomes 6, 4 becomes 3, then 6 becomes 5, 3 becomes 2, 5 becomes 4, 2 becomes 1, till one of them will be 0. Clear? So in this way we can find out the number of squares. And to find out the number of rectangles, you just think in this way, that to make a rectangle, what actually we need? To make a rectangle, we need any of these two parallel sides which are horizontal, and any two of the sides which are vertical. Okay, so if we consider a pair of horizontal line, any pair, suppose this one and this one, if we take say this one and this one, and if we say a vertical line, say this one and this one, then which rectangle will form? Will form basically this rectangle. Okay, so if we choose any two pair of horizontal and a pair of vertical lines, then we will form a rectangle. Then how many ways we can do that? It is simple, that there are how many horizontal lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 horizontal lines. How many ways we can select 2 out of it? So 5c2. And for that, how many ways we can select 2 vertical lines? How many vertical lines are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So out of 8 vertical lines, we can select 2 in this way. So this will be the answer of total number of rectangles. Okay. Now the third question, that number of rectangles which are not squares. It is very simple. You know what is the total number of rectangles. You know what is the total number of squares. Just simply subtract from the total number of rectangles to this total number of squares. You will get the last answer. Okay. Now the problem of dice. Consider there are 4 dice and number of ways getting a sum of 11 if all of them thrown together. Okay, so I promise that I will consider this kind of a problem, how to find out the number of ways by which you will get a sum of 11. The general formula was to finding out the coefficient of x to the power r in the expansion of 1 plus x square up to x to the power 6 to the power the number of times it has been thrown, or the number of dice. So what we can do is that for this problem we are considering, say the for a particular case, say a plus b plus c plus d, this is equal to 11. Okay, so we want to find out in how many ways this is possible. Okay, this is what is the question basically. The sum of the 4 faces will be equal to 11 and how many ways this is possible. Okay, to do this, what are the restrictions? Let us see first. The restrictions are that each of them, A, B, C and D, they cannot be 0, because the minimum they can be 1 and maximum they can be 6. So they cannot be 0. So at least they will be 1, right? So if we put 1 in all of them, then A plus B plus C plus D, that will become 7. That means we already put 1 to each of this compartment. We are as if considering this is a compartment and there are 11 similar objects. What are those similar objects? Those objects are nothing but all 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 similar objects. And what we are doing is we want to make it partition. We want to say we are going to we are using 3 partitions. So in this way we are dividing this into 4 compartments. This is one compartment, this is another compartment, this is another compartment, and this is another compartment. So we have divided these 11 similar objects as if in 4 different compartments, and how many ways we can divide it, that we'll see. So basically this is equivalent to the case as if A is 2, B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is 1, 2, 3, and this is 1. This is one of the solution. So in this way we are thinking this problem, that how many different possibilities are there, and we know that how to do that. Okay, if you remember that we have already discussed. So now the thing is that in general problem what we have discussed, there may be 0, but now we are considering we have put 1 in each of them, so it has become now 7. So a plus b plus c plus d is equal to 7 is required, where a, b, c, d can take value 0, because now we have already given 1 and that is why it has reduced to 7. Now a, b, c, d can be 0, no problem. So now tell me how many different solutions are possible. That is, we know this is 7 and this is 4. So 7 plus 4 and 1 less. Why 1 less? We know the number of partition required is 1 less than the number of compartments, right? And 7 is the total number that we want to make. So 7 plus 4 minus 1, C, R minus 1. R is number of compartments. So 4 minus 1. So this is what? This is 10 C 3. So 10 C 3 ways this can be arranged. But there is a problem. What is the problem? The problem is, even in doing that, you see, we may consider this situation that A will be 7, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0, or it may consider the situation this will be 0, this will be 6, this will be 0, this will be 1. Now tell me, this option is acceptable or not? This option is not acceptable because this A cannot be 8. This A cannot be 8. This option is also not possible because this capital B cannot be 6 plus 1. That means capital B cannot be 7, because you know the maximum values of A, B, C, D can be 6. So we have to subtract something. What we have to subtract? We have to subtract the cases. We have to subtract the cases where A, B, C, D, these values cannot be when they are greater than equal to 6. Capital A, B, C, D. These values greater than 6, greater than equal to 6, these cases are not allowed. So let us find out how many such cases are there where A, B, C, D are greater than equal to 6. Okay, to find the cases where A, B, C, D are greater than equal to 6, we are thinking it in that way. Your A plus B plus C plus D, this is equal to 11. Now you put A as 6. If you put A as 6, then what will happen to B, C and D? So this is equal to, this is equal to, let us consider the smaller one, A plus B plus C plus D. This is equal to 7. Now small ABCD, what is the restriction? You tell me. Small A, B, C, D, they cannot be equal to 6. Capital A can be 6, right? Capital A definitely can be 6, but small ABCD cannot be 6 or more than that, because if small a is 6, if small b is 6 or small c is 6, which means that capital C is 1 more than that, which is not allowed. So small ABCD cannot be greater than 6 or even not equal to 6. So at least small ABCD equal to 6, that case if we want to do. So let us consider A is 6. If A is 6, then already if we put A is 6, then you just make it 7 minus 6, which is equal to 1, and put this as A prime. That means now we are considering as if A prime plus B plus C plus D is equal to 1. Where what is A prime? A prime is equal to, A prime is basically the version of A where A already given 6. So now since A already given 6, so now A we have written as A prime. So now A prime can take even 0, no problem. So how many such solutions are possible? Okay, so how many such solutions are possible? There are 4 here, and here it is 1. So 1 plus 4 minus 1, C 4 minus 1. So how many ways this can be done? So 4, this is 4 C3. 4 C3 means 4 C1, which means 4. So 4 number of ways this can happen, where A prime considered to be 6. But again, this is or greater than this possible solutions of this, that so that this is equal to 1, the summation of this is equal to 1. Now this can also happen for the B, and this also can be happen for C. So we have considered A only 6. The similar way we can consider that B also 6, C also 6, and that means for each cases we are going to get the 4 cases. So there are total 4 compartments. So 4 into 4, total 16 cases will actually where this situation may occur. This situation may occur where at least 6 will be there in A, B, or C or D. So these 16 cases you have to subtract from this total number of cases. So your final answer will be 10C3 minus 16. 10C3 minus 16. Okay. So now let us see the second part of the problem, where the problem is the number of ways of getting a sum of 19. So now again the problem is similar, that A plus B plus C plus D, that is equal to 19. And to solve this problem, since this number is closer to 24, why 24? Because 24 is the maximum values that can happen in the 4 dice. So 6 in each of the dice. So 6 into 4 is 24. So since this value is close to 24, that means what is the minimum value that must happen as the summation of the 4 dice? Definitely that minimum value is 1 in each of the die, that means 4, and the maximum will be 24. So what is the average? Average is 14. So if it is more than 14, then we'll go by this approach that we are right now discussing. See what we are doing in that case. Suppose it is 19 or 20 or 21, like that. Instead of doing, we'll go by the reverse approach. Let us put A as 6 minus A, B as 6 minus B, C as 6 minus C, and D as 6 minus D. If we put that, then definitely you can see that A plus B plus C plus D is equal to what? 4 6 are 24. So 24 minus 9, 19 is equal to 5. So A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 5. Now how many number of such solutions possible? Okay, now here you can see A can also be 0, no problem, because A may be 6. So it is now the simple formula. So 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 minus 1 is 8, C 4 minus 1, that is 3. So answer is 8C3. Okay, since this number is not more than 6 or not equal to 6 or more than 6, so that is why there is no trouble. Previously, when we have solved the problem of 11, we have found that A plus B plus C plus D is equal to 7. That is why the problem was there, that we have to subtract something, because there is a chance that one of them might be more than 6. Okay, so but in this case, since it is less than 6, there is no problem. The answer will be simply how come this 8 we get? 5 plus 4 minus 1, and this 3 is basically 4 minus 1. Okay, so this is what is the answer. Okay, let us stop this video here. In the next class we are going to discuss some more problems on permutations and combinations.